Breathe in and breathe out. Because I'm back. It's been something like oh my god, it's been like 4 months since I did my last video. And that's kind of for a good reason. It was very intentional. I felt like I was just cranking stuff out for the sake of cranking it out. This goes for Instagram, this goes for Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all my platforms. I just felt like I was being disingenuous to myself and to my viewers. And even though some of the YouTube tutorials that I put on here that I still stand behind, like, people love them. I've been getting a lot of love for the Alvin Kamara design one, my car edit, a couple other ones, and I can tell people enjoy what I do, but I felt like I was just kind of doing it for the sake of putting YouTube videos up, and that's not my intention. That's why I stopped caring about my Instagram grid, which I'll get to later, and all this other stuff. So I had to put a whole new setup together because I'm in a whole different spot in my house, and I really like this. I've got a few things I gotta clean up, While I like this wide angle view, you can, see stuff on the sides, and that's okay. I mean, I'm gonna build it as I go, see what I like. But I have lighting set up, I have a camera set up, I have a mic set up, I've got everything to where I can put out content and be genuine about it and not worry about it being ultra high quality all the time. And, I want to put out the best that I can put out without sacrificing who I am as a person and as a creator. So I guess one quick update that you guys might want is the YouTube channel. What am I going to continue to do with the YouTube channel? Well, I do want to do more talking head pieces. I'm going to continue to experiment with shorts. I really enjoyed those, but again, much like some other stuff, it felt kind of like I was just doing it for the sake of doing it. So I'm going to be a little smarter about those. But I will be doing more tutorials, mostly focused on graphic design, of course, but I will be doing some photography and videography stuff in the future. Maybe some gear review stuff, but this isn't necessarily a gear review channel. So if I put a gear piece up, it's because this is something I use and I think that you guys might like it. Also, now that I've had some experience with streaming and content creation, I feel like I can come together with some pieces of useful information that I can give to y'all that I think you'll enjoy, that feels like genuine advice and not just how to grow your YouTube really quick, how to grow your Twitch really quick, and like have to come out with a new version of that video every 4 months because what you said before changes, when I could just give you guys an idea of good things to try out. We'll see. I've got ideas, and I'm just winging this video just as much as I would wing any video, and I think that's something that I want to continue to do. As far as other content creation, where am I going with all this stuff? Because I do intend to do a lot of other stuff. I'm obviously still taking photographs and doing more graphic design, and I'm posting a lot of this on Twitter. So if you don't want to follow me on Twitter, please give me a follow and let me know what you think of my stuff so far. I've really been focusing my Twitter on being very community based while still putting out content, and even though I haven't really done as many as the time of recording this, I haven't done a lot of recent photo shoots outside of more practical stuff that I do for sports photography. I'm not posting a lot of sets like a lot of Twitter and Instagram photographers, and I think that's okay because I am trying to continue to focus more on design stuff. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you get a real sense of me. It's not just the content creation, because I think some people are so limited. They're like, I only can post banger photos. I can only talk about graphic design. No. If you want, I talk about sports. I talk about food. I talk about my local community. I talk about my personal life. I talk about everything. It's my favorite platform to use as far as social media goes outside of YouTube. And, because I barely use Facebook anymore, it's there to have one, but that's it. And Instagram is a whole nother side rant I can have. But Twitter, love it, and I highly recommend creatives who aren't on Twitter now to try it. And remember, it's a little bit more about community and not about yourself. Also, don't get trigger happy with hashtags. They don't work the same way as they do in Instagram. Another thing that I haven't done in a while is live streaming. Now, I have not streamed on YouTube yet, but there is plans to do so. But for most of last year, I did a pretty consistent job of streaming on Twitch, and it was mostly gaming, and I enjoyed it, and I love the community, and I love the connections I've made, and I don't think I'm going to quit that. However, I got kind of burnt out. It was hard for me to enjoy playing video games because I was always having to figure out, all right, well, I got to make sure this can get me viewers, and especially when you're a much smaller channel and there's such a steep climb that unless you have really unique content or you hit gold, it's very hard to grow in a sustaining way. And I didn't necessarily want this to be a full-time job. I'd have a full-time job I enjoy, and I also just create for fun, but it was becoming not worth it for my schedule. I was not being able to do jiu-jitsu as much when hockey season's around. I'm going to a lot of games, and, I work photography for baseball now, so summertime is really busy. So it was really hard to do super consistent streaming, which is what you need to do to grow on Twitch. It makes sense. But that being said, Twitch streaming is not over for me. Streaming in general is not over for me, and actually I do intend to migrate my guitar. I do intend to migrate my graphic design streaming over to YouTube soon. Right now, I'm still gonna probably start with Twitch because I'm most familiar with it, and I'm gonna slowly start working my way into YouTube. Once I figure it out, I'll start actually streaming on here, but until then, my plan is to stream on Twitch and to bring the Twitch stream to you guys after the fact, so you can still see what I'm working on, because it'll still be like a tutorial, but it'll be way less formal, and it'll be kind of winging it. If you haven't followed me on other social media platforms, specifically Instagram, you'll notice that I stopped doing exclusively photos, and I don't post very often, and that's because I know that there's an algorithm and you gotta feed it, and they're always changing that. I don't care. I stopped caring about limiting what kind of work I put on my Instagram, because I am, as I say, a multidisciplinary artist. I do graphic design, but I also do photography, but I also do videography, and I do a wide variety within each. In photography, I started as a concert photographer, but then I started doing portraits and products, and now I do sports. And sports are like the big thing that I'm trying to work towards in general anyway, like sports photography, sports design, sports motion design. All that stuff is like where I'm trying to head my career right now, personally. At least in my personal business stuff. And same thing with graphic design. I started doing things with bands. Now I do branding, and I also do corporate stuff, and I also do sports. So you get the trend here. I do a lot of things, and I think some people have done a really great job of curating a grid on Instagram, and they have way more likes and way more follows than me, and a lot of the engagement from them is actually pretty genuine. And same thing with me. I think people who say that the platform is almost entirely disingenuous is a disingenuous comment itself, but we can talk about that in another video. I do intend to make some more talking head pieces of hot takes, by the way. Like I said, you're not seeing as much on Instagram, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that Twitter is basically the only platform I use, outside of YouTube, because it's a really community-based platform, for me at least, for a lot of creatives. I can connect with people in my business. I can connect with people who are like-minded for me as a creative, as a sports fan, as a resident of my local area, as a food person. Like, there's so many things, and my timeline is just all that. It's not curated up, gotta fill up my grid, I gotta get some sets. It's like, nah, man, I don't care about that. I want to see cool graphic design, and then I want it to be followed by a really cool photo, and then by a really good sports take. Like, that's what I really enjoy about it. So I'll be doing some talking head stuff on here, and I'll be doing some talking head stuff on Twitter, so we'll see how that goes. So this is kind of a ranty video, and it's mostly because I wanted to give y'all some kind of update to my life, to show you a little bit of the preview of the new setup, and you'll be seeing my face like this a lot. It's genuine. It's me, a microphone, my setup, and you. I'm talking to you, and I'm just trying to deliver my messages without doing a lot of heavy edits and all that kind of stuff. So if you like what you're seeing, let me know. Comment down below on what kind of tutorials you want to see in the future. If you're wanting to see me stream on YouTube, what I can do to make your viewing experience better, just give me some comments and some suggestions. I'm all ears. So have a nice day, and I will see y'all in the next video.